or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
If you're a veteran, our nation has created a wide range of benefits to thank you for your service, but it can be difficult to navigate the process of determining eligibility, filing claims, appealing decisions, and securing the benefits you've earned. Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. These services are 100% free, so visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome in to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Hey, welcome to the Get Your Happy On Hour. I'm your host, Ricky C. Simmons. This is 93.7 The Ticket. Man, I got to start my show off like I always do, giving a big shout out to Matt Warner, Empire Fencing. Appreciate all the love y'all continue to give the show and keep doing big things out there. Happy Father's Day, everybody. Want everybody to understand that it's another day, and they're actually honoring fathers, and I applaud that. You know, I was sitting here thinking, by it being Father's Day, I know there's a lot of people just sitting around chilling. Hope you guys are tuning in. But I want you guys to understand something about the Get Your Happy On Hour show. The Get Your Happy On Hour show is basically built on positivity. I cover some negative things sometimes because everyone goes through some adversity. But the end result is trying to get to positive. I've had people say, hey, man, how can you be happy and positive all the time? And my answer is the same. I work at it every single day. And just for example purposes, I won't put anybody else on blast because I only throw Ricky under the bus, but there's a lot of different things in our society that's negative, and they're negative every day. So I take the same approach toward positivity. That's why it's the Get You Happy On Hour. So like I said, being positive, even though I've been accused of making it look easy, it really requires a lot of work because everybody ain't trying to be positive. Let's just be, let's be honest with ourselves. But I happen to have carved out a little space that I get an opportunity to be positive on this radio show. And I really, really appreciate that. But I want y'all to know something. Tonight, I got a guest, like a little brother to me. He's doing amazing things, but it wasn't always perfect for him. And I want y'all to really pay attention. We're going to learn something tonight. John.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the show.
Appreciate you, big bro.
Hey, look here, man. I just want to, first of all, and I'm going to do this a whole bunch of more times before this show is over, but I got to say thank you because you have a very hectic schedule. I always equate you to, and I hope I don't offend nobody by saying this, but it's a joke in advance. You busy than a one-legged man in a kick fight. If you can picture a one-legged man in a kick fight, he's got to stand on one leg, kick, and then try to regain his balance. That's a full-time job. As y'all can tell, I like humor. I like to laugh and joke. But because of all the adversity that's going on in the world that I can't personally control, I try to control what I can. But John.
Yes, sir.
Man, where you from, man?
Originally from Chicago area. I actually grew up if you familiar with Chicago, it's actually Harvey, a south suburb, about 5 minutes away from the south side. Then my mom moved to 72nd and Normal, which is the south side of Chicago. So that's why I was born and raised.
Is that the
area?
Is that a pretty rough area?
All of it's rough. All of
That's what I was kind of wondering.
all of it's rough. I mean, Harvey, in that area, I mean, you grew up with a lot of people, but when they started cleaning up the projects on the south side, across the street from where Comiskey Park was, now it's U.S. Cellular, I think, where the White Sox is. All of those people moved to the suburbs, south suburbs.
Oh, okay.
And so you don't know those people because you didn't grow up with those people. So yeah, that area, Harvey, is one of probably the toughest cities to live in. South side of Chicago, I mean, it's all good. It's just certain areas. It's just you just know where not to go.
Yeah. And I have relatives on my father's side of the family that still currently live in Chicago, and just growing up in Texas, man, they were my cousins, but I was a little, I don't know what the word is, but I was always kind of curious.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, because they was into some things that I wasn't quite sure I understood at the time. But but big shout out to all my family in Chicago. I mean, they grew up in the Maywood area, but now they're all over the place. But man, my cousin Sue, she took me on. I went up there a few years back for Thanksgiving, and I say, Cousin Sue, show me around. And man, she had me on Madison Avenue. They ain't never got to take me back there.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were with the right person, though.
Yeah. I was with the right people. I mean, everybody respected her. So I was good. But, man, if she wouldn't have been with me, I think I'd have been in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just didn't look like the friendliest place. And everybody looked like they just ate something that didn't taste good. Got these facial expressions like they ready to whoop somebody. I'm like, hey, man, I don't even know you, dude.
They stay ready. They stay ready.
Yeah, well, what they say, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
You got to get ready.
Yeah, well, boy, they stay ready. I mean, the whole 9 yards. But, but John, now when you said you grew up there, so how long was you actually, did you finish high school there?
Finished high school. So I went to Thornton Ridge High School. That was in Dalton. So I got bused to another city for high school. And then from high school, I went to ITT Tech, Technical Institute.
Oh,
so I did about a year and a half there, while I was in Chicago still before I moved here.
So what prompted the move to Nebraska?
Good question.
I think I choked him with that one.
Yeah, it was more of I had family here. So family, my cousins, my uncle, he owned a dojo here, and every year in high school they were trying to get me to move here. And so I came down in 95, early in 95. It was actually like the summer of 95. Spent about a week, and I will take that back. It was the spring of 95.
Okay.
Stayed for about a week, went back saying it's nothing here. When you grow up in Chicago, it's a bigger city. You got downtown, so there's a lot of entertainment, a lot of things to do. You don't run into people every day, the same people every day.
Right.
So it was just a lot of greatness, the food, all of that, the nightlife. And so I just told him, I said, this is not for me. Nebraska is not for me. So I went back. And in that summer, I was losing a few friends through violence, gang violence, and things of that nature. And one particular day, I was on my way to go get something to eat. And I walked out my house, and I seen a guy, first seen him before I heard anything about seeing him shooting at a car that was on the corner of where we lived. And so all of us, the people that was in our house, we just ducked. We hit the ground, face in dirt, and all we heard was bullets flying through, hitting the house and cans and cars and windows. And I'm watching him literally shoot, and the car shooting back at him. So definitely got caught in a drive-by. And as I was laying there, that was probably like the realest prayer I ever prayed in my life. I said, God, if you ever get me out of this, I'm gonna move to Nebraska. and in 96, I did just that. I worked another job to save up for a car that can make it here. And August of 96, I moved to Nebraska.
Wow. Well, a lot of people, when they see the drive-by, for example, it's usually on television.
Mm-hmm.
And you get, it's a tough thing to watch, but when it's on television, you kind of have a sense of security because it's on television.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're actually watching it with your naked eye and hearing what you're hearing and seeing what you're seeing, I can see where that would get your undivided attention.
Straight undivided attention. I tell people it took a drive-by to get me here. And I literally was not coming. But it was that experience right there where I was just like, my dad always told me, he said, never be concerned about the bullet with your name on it. I've always been concerned about the bullet that didn't have my name on it.
Yes.
To where you just don't know where it's coming from. And when you look at the news in Chicago, you see that all the time. You see kids getting shot. They be in their homes. They be in the car getting picked up, driving home. Just randoms. And I'm just fortunate and blessed that I wasn't one of those randoms and I was able to move here.
That's a blessing within itself because a lot of times, man, we just take stuff for granted. And the fact that you was right in the middle of that, and I do agree with that random aspect because I have seen so many stories where kids were maybe even just sitting at their dinner table,
Mm-hmm.
maybe doing homework or
Mm-hmm.
having a snack, and they're gone
Mm-hmm.
by a bullet that didn't have nothing to do with them. They were at home where they're supposed to be. So one thing I can honestly say is I'm glad that you made that decision because sometimes we don't make the right decision,
Mm-hmm.
and you could have very easily said, nah, that won't happen again. I'm just going to stay here and tough it out and figure out what I'm going to do with my life. But you made a conscious decision to move to Nebraska. Now, when you first got here, man, what was that like for you?
It was a culture shock, basically. Even though I was coming here every year, my dad, his sister, he had a sister here, so we would come here every year for Easter. Actually living here was just a different culture. The food was just different. Downtown really don't look like downtown.
Right.
It was a college town. Huskers was winning. That was probably the biggest thing that was happening. Tommy Frazier was still, actually, he was just wrapping up, and even though they were still winning 97, they were, a lot of those guys used to come over to the house and eat with us. And so I knew a lot of those guys. So I built relationships with them. It was just different. Wasn't a lot of things to do. And it forced you to live a different way. It took me a while to get my mindset from Chicago to here because I'm an aggressive driver.
Yeah.
So I got pulled over a lot. Some was my fault, some wasn't. I'm gonna leave it just like that. But yeah, I had to learn. I got into martial arts, but I did have a temper and got into church. I was church heavy here. Got into martial arts and to help me start competing in judo. So that gave me, helped me with my aggression pretty much. But it was just a life-changing experience all the way around.
When you say that aggressive driving, I do remember that from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Man, them dudes, I don't even think I don't know. They may not even put signal lights on.
No.
When you change lanes, they don't use signals. They just they go where they're going.
No. And if you sit at the light too long when it turns green, you best to go.
Yeah.
And don't honk your horn.
Oh no, that might be a misunderstanding. That could be a misunderstanding. Yeah. I think they call it road rage.
Yeah, exactly what that is.
Well, I guess the thing that really, that I was thinking about was the aggressive driving. I can see why you were getting pulled over here. Mm-hmm. Because if you came from Chicago, the way I saw them driving, and you try that around here, you're going to get pulled over because you're going to stand out like a sore thumb.
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing is, man, you made the adjustment. You came here and you got yourself active in some constructive things. Um, so you're out of high school. What were you? I mean, when you got here, what was the goal?
The goal was to find myself. I think that was the goal. I didn't know who I really was as a person. When you start living lives of people that have come before you, you figure if that's what they're doing, that's what you need to do. So I had to find myself. I got back into school because I was at ITT Tech, and then I did a semester at the university, and then just started working. I got married when I was 22, so I was fresh out and she was 30, and so I was, you couldn't tell me nothing, man.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there, have 2 kids that I'm proud of, that's doing really well today. But I had to start working. So I was working 2-3 jobs to make sure that I was providing for the kids and for the family. And I took a pause from school and just started working. So I was working all these odd jobs. From them odd jobs, I didn't know that those odd jobs was actually preparing me to what I'm doing right now. But at the time, I was just out there working. My son was doing well in sports and school, and so I made a decision to make sure that he did not lack. So I had to work extra for him to do the select baseball and football and all those different activities, as well as my daughter, same way with track and all the other things that they did to provide them for something that I didn't get the opportunity to do. And so it was just that until I got into Lincoln Public Schools, and I became a campus supervisor and a football coach for about 20 years.
Wow. Okay. Now let me ask you this. You did this for like 20 years, you said. I guess my next question is, what led you to become part of the Malone Center?
So back in, I was having a conversation with my son when he was in 8th grade. Actually, he was like in 8th grade. And the one thing I told him, I said, man, you need to finish, because he wanted to quit. I said, no, you got to finish. You have to finish what you started. So that's all I've been saying to him. But then I was also talking to myself because I didn't finish school. So I got back into school. I went to Bellevue University, got my degree in security management, because that was something that I loved doing. I love doing security. And so I was applying for different jobs from all over the city to deal with security, and I didn't get the job. I ended up stopped looking. I was like, okay, I need to figure something out, because I can't keep doing this.
Right.
And there was the executive at the time at the Malone Center apparently asked a couple of people, Des Moines Adams, Aaron Davis, if they knew anybody that could come over to the Malone Center and be like the director of operations. And they mentioned my name, and without telling me. So they come to me, they say, hey, are you interested in the job? Initially, I told them no, because I knew like the history of Malone, but I just wasn't interested in doing that. I was more wanting to do security. Okay. And they ended up taking me out, talking to me about the job, had me think about it. I called my dad, talked to a few other people here in the city that I knew, I respected. Long story short, my dad just told me, he says, man, the things that you're doing you can expand those things and to do it for more people. And he said, you should think about it. Slept overnight. They came and they asked me what I wanted to do from the Malone Center. I said, give me another day. They gave me another day. I woke up, I said, you know what? I think I'm going to do it. So I called home. That was in October of 2017. I called home and told my dad that I think I'm going to take the job. And he told me, he says, whatever you do, make it better. Whatever you do, go over there and make it better, like I have done when the things that I've been in through. So I said, okay, cool. I still got that message on my phone today, not knowing 3 weeks later that he will pass away. And and so I keep that message to remind me that when I get discouraged, that all I need to do is just keep making it better, whatever that looks like. And so I came over as director of operations from 2017 to 2018.
Okay. You did that, but at the time you was just taking a job.
I was just taking the job, didn't know what I was really getting myself into. I knew I was working for an organization that had been here for a long time. And it's different. It's different to do something. It was, I was nervous. I was uncomfortable because, 20 years I've been in a spot. I'm coaching something that I love. I love being around the students. I love coaching them. I love that aspect. I loved it. And, but I knew I was just getting complacent. When you start getting complacent, you just stop growing. And so I needed something different. And so that director of operations, I've never done it before, but one of my mentors said, if you ever been a head coach, this is no different. And do what you need to do. And I learned the job and gathered some people around me who knew the job better than I did, and started executing what I needed to do for that role.
Well, let me ask you this. From just what you just shared to what you are currently, what's your title at the Malone Center?
Currently, I'm the CEO of Malone.
And this is from a guy who just took a job.
Yeah.
Just took a job. Well, had no intentions of being there that long, and now you're the CEO. Dude, I think that deserves a congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, because, hey, it's hard out here. And you stuck through, and you didn't give up. That's the part that I wanted everybody to hear right there. I mean, adversity struck. You wasn't sure what you wanted to do, and you made some choices. And I'm sorry to hear that your father passed the way he did. I mean, it's never a good time for that, but you didn't let that stop you. If anything, it sounds like that motivated you.
It did. It motivated me. That job wasn't running that itself. The job itself is not easy. I don't know what I was getting myself into, and what I came into was not easy. We were in a difficult situation when I came in. I could have easily walked away and did something different. But when you realize what you're called to do in your purpose in your life, because it was during that time when I started realizing what my purpose was. It didn't allow me to quit. And through it all, I was able to, through God's grace, to just make it through and make it better, whatever that was. I have great staff. It was great staff there that stuck around, who we just meshed together and said, hey, let's do this together.
Right.
And so I don't take a lot of that credit, because if it had not been for them as well being there, we wouldn't be where we are today, with their dedication as well. And it was hard. A lot of tears, a lot of not just from me, but from the staff.
Right.
Even from the board that was at the present time. It was a difficult situation. But we were able to see our way through it, and build relationships, and that was good.
I a big shout out to the Malone Center and the staff, man, because I know quite a few of them, and I know what type of people they are. But it still took a team effort to get through some of the stuff, because you guys were facing a whole lot of adversity we won't get into. But y'all, I mean, just to stay in the game. You guys, y'all did that. And I just want to let everybody know that deserves credit as well, because it's so easy to quit and walk away, because there's that old saying, the grass is always greener on the other, somewhere else. Y'all didn't take that approach. So I really, really admire that. Look, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back. Don't y'all go nowhere. This is 93.7 The Ticket. Is to get you happy on hour.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. from major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
In today's digital world, technology works great until it doesn't. At Hamilton, we work to keep your business up and running. We are more than an IT company. We're your partner, focused on customized solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Say goodbye to tech stress and unexpected IT costs when you hire Hamilton. Together, we help you focus on what really matters. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Make sure you tune in every Saturday from 11 to 12 for all things youth football with Tank Perry and Jim Sandman. Learn how the game of youth football has grown in and around the capital city with coaches, athletic directors, and league commissioners telling you all about it. It's all things youth football with Tank Perry and Jim Sandman every Saturday from 11 to noon right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio, video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Country music star Rodney Atkins will be performing at the Icebox on Friday, June 20th. Tickets start at $30 and doors open at 7 p.m. The capacity is only 3,000, so don't wait. Buy your tickets at LincolnStars.com today before it sells out.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Raising Cane's is the only fuel I need. Their chicken fingers always fill my tank. So when I'm running on fumes, I always refuel at Raising Cane's. But turns out, not everything's fueled by Cane's. Guess the old girl prefers her sauce unleaded. One love.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Hey, we back. Man, I was talking to my guest during the break, and boy, this dude is really busy. He's really busy. I was wondering too, when we was talking, you was talking about how you led up to becoming the CEO of the Malone Center. What's all that new construction going on over there, man? What's that about?
Man, we are excited to have that. That is the new 54,000 square foot facility, Malone Center, Clyde Malone Community Center.
Wow. And it looks like instead of going wider, y'all went up.
Up and wide, man. We're like the Jeffersons. We moving on up.
You're like George and Weezy around here.
We doing it, man. We that could not happen without people in this community supporting it.
Right.
Inside and outside this community. But there's some wonderful people in this community that help support that project. City selling us land and for $1 to expand that area for parking, and so the city was on board. Actually, the governor's on board with that project as well. I'm just excited and feel good about where we are and what we're going to provide, and help this city grow more prosperous, and the people that we're going to be helping inside of that building to be more creative for their gift to be deployed to the world. So we're excited to get going.
A lot of the people that you serve, are they, I don't know the term, but what population do you mostly cater to?
Malone has always been here for the Black community, for the African-American community. Our mission is to eliminate multi-generational poverty, but the vision is to create unity and prosperity throughout Lincoln while honoring our African-American heritage. So although we don't just serve African-Americans, we serve everyone, every gender, every race, culture. We definitely welcome them. But Malone has always been a staple in the community for the Black community. In that area, and as you know this, it was called T-Town.
Right.
So it's always been that support for our community, and with this facility, we're going to continue that mission and that vision that was laid down from all the way back before 1955.
Wow. Now let me ask you this: with all that construction I saw just driving down to the station tonight, when are y'all anticipating being complete? I mean, I know things happen, but what's the ballpark idea?
Early spring next year, so late March, early April.
Okay,
is when we can move in.
Okay, so as for now, you still are providing services, but you had to spread them out around the city. Is that correct?
We're like in 4 or 5 different locations. Our child care preschool is at City Impact. After school programming is at Christ United Methodist. Maternal wellness and teen program is at First United Methodist, and our therapy, health and healing program is in the Turbine Flats.
Wow. Yeah, you guys are all over the place.
We're all over the place, and we can't wait to get together.
That's the goal. We gotta.
Man, it's difficult being away. It's difficult. It's challenging.
Right.
Although we're doing it, it's a lot of challenges with that. Where we just did not want to close our services down because they're needed.
Right. And I understand that, because once you say, okay, we're going to stop services for X amount of time, just to get that restarted can almost destroy the whole concept. So I admire the fact that you guys, even though you had to go in multiple different locations, you still came up with a way to keep providing these services, the same services that you already were providing. I think that's really, really important, because I don't know, it just seems like to me, when people no longer see it as an option, a lot of bad decisions can be made by the people that you would once be serving that probably wouldn't have made these bad decisions, but y'all figured out a way to keep it going. And to me, that's huge. So you're saying maybe next spring, everything should be hopefully completed and you guys can all come back together.
All come back together and have a wonderful creative time in that facility. 54, we go from 14,000 square feet to 54,000 square feet. And we're going to use every inch of that building to be creative and get our youth and families ready for their purpose. And we're just excited about the staff. I can't speak enough on how well the staff is. I have an awesome freaking staff at Malone Center. They are awesome, from after school programs, all of our directors, maternal wellness, health and healing, sports programs, every program, child care that we have, the staff is just awesome. and it feels like a family.
That's rare.
Mm-hmm.
That's rare because usually, I mean, not always, but in a lot of cases, to get a staff like you have, that's not an easy thing to do, especially when you're going through all this transition of moving around, because people will get discouraged. People will say, you know what, I can do something different. But your guys seem to all have bought in, and everybody's just waiting on everything to come together while still doing what they need to do. I think that's just rare. I mean, especially in today's world. I mean, we live in this, I call it this RAT now society.
Right.
It's not right. It's rat. Hair up. I want everything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the fact that you guys are willing to keep a great working relationship, I think that is very, very important. Now, I was just sitting here thinking, all the stuff you done went through to get to where you're at. And you ain't stopped there. You done pulled something else, poured it on your plate. What else is John doing? Or you just accomplished something? You ran for something.
Yes, I put my name in for school board District 1. That was another process. Again, because you go through the uncomfortability of the unknown. There's something new, but I know my purpose. I know I want to stay within the wheel. So it's more of, okay, this is what I need to do. And I did it, and not expecting I didn't know what was going to come out of it. I'm like, okay, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And my district over in the area where I'm in, they voted me in, and I was very humbled by that, very humbled, and I'm still humbled in learning. School board, I didn't know what all it took to actually to run. I've never done that before. I had family to do it, but I've never done it. I didn't have any interest. But the one thing I do have interest in is making sure that our kids and families are in a great position. And that's why I did what I did. It wasn't because I wanted to, because I didn't.
For you to run, is that the first time you ever ran for anything like that?
Politically, yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. First time, and you actually won.
Actually won. That's the thing. I'm looking at my name, and I'm like, that is me. I actually did that. People actually voted for me. That was the guy I was running against was a great guy. I sat and I talked with him. He had great ideas. Real smart guy. I was humbled to just be in that area with him, and the people who ran as well, I great respect for them. The two that came on with me, the two ladies, are awesome. I'm just humbled. So I'm in there just learning a lot, and to make sure that I hope to see our kids be successful. And I just take that message that my dad gave and make it better, whatever that is. And how can I do that? Let's see what I can do to help in that cause.
So have you officially been sworn in and everything now?
Officially been sworn in and had 3 board meetings already. And
wow.
That's been an experience. It's been an experience. If you would have told me when I was in school, in high school or grade school, that this is what I'd be doing, I would have laughed at you, because I just didn't see me doing this. But again, I'm fortunate and blessed that, that God just kept me alive. He kept me alive through all the things that I've been through, and I could have been in a whole nother situation. And so I owe him. And so that's how I feel. I just feel like I owe God my life. And so what I need to do is do what he wants me to do. And this is something, again, when I say I didn't want to do it, this wasn't in my cards, this wasn't in my plan. That's exactly what I mean. And so, but I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm learning. There's very smart people that I'm working with, that I'm learning from. And looking for great things.
Well, the one thing that stood out to me is the humility piece that you mentioned. I think it's there's something to be said about a person being humble. A lot of people don't buy into humbleness. They think that for some reason they take being humble as being weak. I'm totally opposite, because I'm a very humble person as well, and I understand the value in being humble. I think being humble makes it easier for people, especially in your situation where you have to be working with people. I think the humble piece allows people to want to continue to be around you, because arrogant doesn't work.
It's true.
I've seen what arrogance can do. It can destroy some stuff. Arrogance is like a form of adversity. Is the way I see it personally. So I always like the humble approach. I just think it takes the temperature of the room down when people are around you. Because when the temperature is high, you don't never know what the next person is going through away from work. They may have some stuff going on at home that you're not aware of, and then you come in here with arrogance. Hey, man,
True.
you can put yourself in a pretty bad spot. This school board thing, I remember when I first heard you were running, I was like, I think John just like stacking stuff on himself, because I know you was busy before that.
Yes.
But somehow, man, you keep doing like your father asked. You keep doing things to try to make it better.
I was always looking for people. I was even asking people, hey, run for school board. We need you on school board. All of them said no. And so when it came down to it, I said, man, who can run for school board? Well, who can I find that can run? Looked at myself in the mirror. Had that conversation with my wife. She said, now, you're going to do it. So I sat in that parking lot for about an hour before I went and put my name in. Because I was just thinking like, man, should I do this? And I was thinking about the time. I was thinking about a lot I'm doing and things of that nature. And 15 minutes before they closed, I went in and put my name in. And then I saw Victor Young, who was actually walking in, and we sat in the parking lot. He was dropping his ballot off, and he smiled at me. He said, I'm glad that you did it. That was a great job. That was a good thing that you did. Don't worry about nothing. You're going to handle it. That was kind of like the last words he said to me before he passed.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that was almost like a message from my dad saying, look, okay, don't forget, just make it better. You'll be okay.
Right.
Take one day at a time. You'll be okay.
That's a great way to look at life. I mean, because I actually apply that to my daily life. I mean, I don't care what it is that I'm doing. I'm always aware of the goals that I have for myself, but I just live one day at a time, and I think a lot of people, they put too much on themselves. Well, look, we're going to take one more break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to wrap the show up. This is 93.7 The Tickets to get you happy on hour. We'll be right back.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Hopefully you and I agree that you should do everything you can to save your marriage. Divorce is hard, expensive, and its outcome is usually not all you hope for. However, when doing everything has failed, when divorce remains as your last option, consider Cordell & Cordell as your first choice to help you through the divorce process to a better place on the other side. We've been a partner men can count on for more than 30 years. Let us be that partner for you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln. 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Make sure you tune in every Saturday from 11 to 12 for all things youth football with Tank Perry and Jim Sandman. Learn how the game of youth football has grown in and around the capital city with coaches, athletic directors, and league commissioners telling you all about it. It's all things youth football with Tank Perry and Jim Sandman every Saturday from 11 to noon right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
And we're back. I got to give a big shout out to Carla Walker. I appreciate you checking out the show. It means a lot to me. I appreciate all the support that I get because I understand everybody's busy. And when people take time out of their busy schedules to tune in, it means the world to me. And I just want y'all to know that it's not taken for granted. I was just sitting there thinking, man, my guest, man, he's a busy dude. He's been through quite a bit, came a long ways, and I'm really proud of him. And I like to make that publicly known because, unfortunately, a lot of times we don't give people their flowers when they can actually appreciate them. You know, we like to, and I'm not saying everybody, but it's usually after you're gone that people got all of these nice things they want to say. Well, you know, I would like to see people give their compliments or their flowers while people can actually hear them. So man, I just want you to know I'm proud of you more than anything.
Appreciate that.
The fact that you know, that you're doing a lot of things that you never, ever thought about doing. You know, I know from just the conversation, CEO of the Malone Center wasn't your goal.
No.
School board wasn't your goal.
No.
Then the fact that you had the knowledge and you had the decision-making power to go back to school to get yourself where you are eligible. Because unfortunately, people will look for any reasons to discredit you. So you had to put all your ducks in a row in order to be eligible to be the CEO, to be eligible to be on the school board. I mean, those are huge accomplishments. I mean, for people that want to do it. And I'm looking at a person that's admitting and being transparent and initially saying this was not the goal.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, big props on that, man. I just think that's important. I want to know if there's anybody you want to shout out to.
Shout out. I want to shout out to my staff at Malone Center, everybody that's been involved with the Malone Center from past to present. Definitely want to give a big shout out to you all, from board presidents to board members to staff that has ever worked at Malone or is working there now. Big shout out to my mom. Mike normally do that on Wednesday, but I'm gonna do it tonight. My wife is listening. Big shout out to you too. It's been a great show, man. I am again humbled to be sitting next to Big Brother Ricky.
Well,
it's been good.
Man, you know what? The feelings are mutual. I appreciate the fact that you made time. Like I said, again, happy Father's Day.
Same to you.
Well, thank you. I just want people to understand something. It doesn't cost anything to be nice. It doesn't cost anything to treat people the way you want to be treated. I don't know why that's so difficult for some people, but on the Get You Happy on hour, we show love around here because to me that's important. And all that laughing and joking stuff I do, that's just who I am. I'm not saying the world is perfect. I know there's some stuff going on, but I figured out a long time ago, actually 16 years ago, June 4th marked 16 years clean and sober living.
Wow.
And that's when I figured out.
That's huge.
Yeah, I figured out that I can't control everything. And once I accepted that, because I used to think that I could control everything, but once I accepted that, my life got a lot simpler. It may be considered even boring to a lot of people, but you know what? I'll take boring and free with peace of mind over drama, adversity, and negativity every time. So I may live a boring life, but I love me some Ricky, and I love me some boring life. So it worked for me.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. Well, look, I got to ask my final question, man. I asked all my guests this question. With all the stuff you done shared with us and all the stuff you got going on, whenever John gets some free time, which probably is not very much, how does John get his happy on?
Man, I happily sleep. I happily sleep. I happily chill with my wife, my kids. That's what I do. Every Friday night is date night. My son is with me for a little bit now, so I love being around my family. So that's basically what it is. I appreciate my family.
That's what's happening. Again, thank you, John, for being the guest tonight. I'm going to wrap my show up the same way I do every week. Every day you blessed to say it's just another day in paradise. And no matter what, you got to get your happy on. Go! We'll see y'all next Sunday.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast.